Welcome to, we're looking at Module 4 for the next couple of weeks here. We've got the Thanksgiving holiday too. So we're just going to have a live chat this week, and then we'll have another one after Thanksgiving. So I'll post those on the home page for you. So just checking my audio here. I'm going to turn off the music. I've got some music from Chicago playing. Let's turn that off. Let's take a look. I've got a PowerPoint for us this week. So we're looking at Module 4, the human side of cinema and television. So this should be another fun one. We did music in Module 3. I did want to make a comment that a lot of you turned in the wrong writing format. You really want to make sure you use that APA template, and I'm going to show you that before we wrap today. But I'm still grading those Module 3s. They just finished up last week, so we'll get those, have those done in the next couple days. So Module 4, the human side of cinema and television. All right, so the things to do, we've got our discussion board and peer post. You want to talk about reality TV and theater. So it's kind of a fun one. We've got a quiz, and we've got our favorite film writing assignment. And then, of course, after this video, you want to document your live session question. So these are all the things we have to do for Module 4. All right, so the lasting impact of reality TV and how we see ourselves as humans is very interesting. It's hard to imagine without having reality TV. Now, I remember The Real World was probably one of the first ones that were shown on MTV back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I'm kind of curious to find out how, if any of you are interested, have time to watch reality TV, or how it affects you. So you're going to get a chance this week to kind of share how that is. One of the big research projects that you find when you research the history of reality TV is that reality TV is really based around commercials. All right. So even though it might be some kind of wacky scenario, like The Biggest Loser or Project Runway, that have, kind of specific interests or documenting specific vocations, it's really all about selling the commercials. All right. So that's the reason why it's still around. If it wasn't making money, it wouldn't be around. Too bad, right? So high and low art is an interesting concept. It was originally based on theater. Theater was not always considered high art, as you might find in this week's readings. What are some of the differences between reality TV and theater? So I'll give you a chance to kind of think about that, and you can kind of discuss that amongst yourselves. That's really what you want to talk about in the discussion board. What are some of the similarities and differences? Now, many times reality TV does have a script, or kind of a foundation of a script for a particular character or person to, the director has some ideas that they want them to portray, right? A theater many times is exclusively based on a script with the director's interpretation. Many times theater can also be spontaneous, just like reality TV. I don't know how much experience you guys have with theater. I know there's wonderful theater in the Detroit area, also in the Chicagoland area. And so if you ever get a chance, definitely check it out. It's usually, sometimes it can be expensive, but usually it's quite fun. It's quite a different experience than watching reality TV. Some of my favorite theater experiences were in Chicago, where I had, many times you would find a film actor like John Malkovich doing character representation in live theater in Chicago, and that was always fascinating to see when you get that crossover of somebody that you know from films and you see them live in the theater. That's always kind of a fun one to experience. So think about that position of theater versus reality TV, and what do you think the differences are? What have you experienced? So and then also, of course, based on the readings. I've got a quick video we're going to look at here that kind of gives us some of the history of theater. Let me kind of pull that up. Here it should come right up. I've used this one before. And we want to find the video. It's just a quick video, kind of gives you some of the history of theater. Let me find. Here we are. Theater history timeline is what we're going to look at. So it starts off in ancient Greece. Moves to Rome, ancient Rome. So it shows you how far back theater goes. And interesting, actors were forbidden to take the sacrament. They weren't considered high art. Here's an interesting look at Asia, history of theater in Asia. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Just trying to hide that little bar. And then we get into medieval times. And that should be Martin Luther. The time of Shakespeare, the Globe Theater. Women weren't acting until 19th century. And so that's a nice brief overview of the theater of history. So you can see how far back history goes into ancient Greece and Rome, and into modern day theater. So you want to take a look at that this week to answer your discussion board. Let's just kind of visit our PowerPoint here again. So you can see how theater was not always considered the highest form of art. Certainly theater is considered a higher form of art than reality TV. But today, but in ancient times, the actors weren't, and women weren't allowed to be part of it. They probably didn't want to be part of it in the early stages of theater. And also, you weren't allowed, the Christians didn't allow actors to take sacrament if they were Christian. So it was pretty wild times back in the early stages of theater there. So we've got a quiz here. You want to read you've got a couple weeks to do this. You've the e-text, chapters 7 and 9 is what you want to take a look at. And favorite film is the written assignment for Module 4. You want to talk about the unique features that make your film of choice its best representation of style. I like this particular German film called Run, Lola, Run. Maybe you've seen it. It won a Best Oscar for Best Foreign Film back in the 90s. The film genre that I'm choosing, but you can choose any film genre that you like. I like crime films and thrillers. And you want to make sure you use that APA formatted reference. Okay. So for example, Run, Lola, Run was directed by Tim Tykwer. You want to make sure you know the name of the film, the date. 1991 is when it was created. Director Tim Tykwer, he also composed the music. You might also recognize the music from this German film in a lot of the Bourne Identity films. Tim Tykwer used his music again in a lot of American films. He was probably got big money for that. So Run, Lola, Run's a real fun one. You might recognize this actress. She's been in a lot of horror films after this. She got a lot of acting gigs in the U.S. After this film as well. It's kind of a definitely fun film. It's fast paced. It almost feels like a video game because it shows the characters, different perspectives throughout the film, and it changes depending on the actions of the actors. So that's what really makes it a best representation of this, kind of crime film thriller. So you want to talk about, the unique features of your film and what makes it stand out. So if you choose comedy, why is it the best comedic film? If you choose romance, why is it the best romance film? Best horror film, why is it the most horrific film, right? Make sure you get those particular details. It's just a 1 to 2 page paper assignment, and you want to make sure you use that format. Speaking of formats, let me just kind of point out where that is. So if you go down, I've sent this to you before, but if you go under course materials over here on the left, all right, and scroll, and then your e-text is here again too, but here's your APA template, the format to write for this course, right? So you want to click on that and then open it, all right? This is how you want to write all the future papers, right? You want to make sure you give me that title page, right? You want to give me an introduction paragraph, right? Where you tell me exactly what the paper is going to be about, all right? That's what you want to do in the first paragraph, all right? After your introduction, then you want to talk about the details, okay? You want to depending on the amount of information you have to cover, check the minimum length, and feel free to use outside sources, right? Add direct quotes if you like. Body paragraphs support your topic. Introduce your topic, right? All papers begin with an introduction paragraph to give an overview of the topic to the reader, okay? You want to include a thesis statement so your thoughts are organized and the reader's not confused. This is all in the first paragraph. Subsequent paragraphs support your topic, okay? And then your last paragraph should be your conclusion, right? Wrap up your loose ends. Make sure you don't introduce anything new. If something hasn't been mentioned before, don't mention it in your conclusion either. Once you've wrapped up your paper, you need to include a reference page of outside sources. So in this case, most of you needed to at least source your song for Module 3. A lot of folks didn't do that. This case, you need to at least cite your film, okay? So you want to indent, right? And you want to do at least the reference of the film, okay? So there's many examples of this, but remember you've got your cite fast, right? So if you're going to cite a film, let me just show you how that works real quick. This is right here in the course materials, right? So click over here, download your format. You can type right on top of it if you want, and of course delete the stuff that doesn't need to be there, right? Make sure it looks professional, right? There's your APA template, right? Open it up. Let's cancel out of that. So for example, if I wanted to cite Run Lola Run, let's come up, right? Run Lola Run, IMDb. All right, so let's say I went to the IMDb site for my film, all right, and I wanted to cite my source, okay? I would click this, copy it. I would go to citefast.com, type that in, click on the link, right? I'm going to cite an online video or web page. All right. I'm going to paste that URL right in here, and I'm going to click the Finder, and it's going to create the reference for me. I'm going to say export, copy, and paste, right? Here's my perfect citation here, copy and paste into that Word document. File new, right? Right, I can put my references above this. Right, references are generally centered, right? And that would be my reference for at least the film for this particular paper, right? 1 to 2 pages. I'm not going to save that. Do exactly what I've done. It's so easy to do. All right, and you can check out my film there. All right, so that's, let's kind of wrap that up. So I just want to give you an example. Make sure you're writing in that format, okay? Because if you're not indenting paragraphs and you're not making page breaks to do your references, you're not doing the correct format. You need to do that title page as well. So this is what's going to be due. We'll take a look at the calendar in a minute, but I just want to kind of finish off. This is our live session question. Post your favorite film genre for points this week. All right, this is your question for Module 4. I'll leave it up there for a few moments. All right. And any questions, be sure to email me. Now, I haven't been getting many emails. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. You can also email me, guys, under course messages over here. If you click on course messages, and you probably have a lot of messages, you can create a message right here and email me something. All right. So for example, I've got all of your names here, right? I can email anybody, and then you just click over, right? And then you type that in there and then submit down here at the bottom. So you can email me that way if you need to. Also, let's just kind of review. Let's do that. Here's the human side of television. Let's just click back here. We'll just kind of review what you need to do, right? Under assignments, make sure you look at all the lesson content, right? You want to choose your favorite film, 1 to 2 page paper. Make sure that it's in that APA format, okay? All right. Discussion board, talk about the differences and the impact of reality TV versus theater, right? That's the discussion board. You've got your Module 4 quiz, your live classroom question. You want to click on that. And then say begin, and then you want to type in my favorite film genre is crime thriller. Okay, and then you would save and submit. All right, that's what you want to. That's what you want to do for Module 4. So I'm still grading those papers. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. That's all I have for you. Make sure you check the course home. I'm going to leave the page here, and all right, I've got an extra credit veterans thing to look at if you want to take a look at more here. If you watch the video and tell me something new that you learned, all right? You don't need to explain to me what Veterans Day is. I think we all know that, right? Right. It's a commemorative of all the people that have done service, but it started in World War I. So tell us something new that you've learned from the video, okay? So watch the quick video and post it in discussion week. I need to say, that needs to be discussion week 4. Sorry about that. Let me edit that. Oops. We want that to be post in week 4. Let me get to the editing version here. I'll send that to all of you again. Sorry about that. We just finished week 4 or week 3. Okay. And I'll send that to you in the corrected version there. Okay. You just have a couple days to do it. So you can't turn that one in late. Okay. All right. So thanks so much, guys, for having me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next chat. Happy Thanksgiving.